Okay, here we go once again. Today we are playing the Martell Kings of Winter deck. This deck is a little bit different from the first three. It's not a big characters good stuff deck because while I do feel that Martell actually can go for that game plan, I felt that the more typical sort of Martell really annoying tricks and attrition and discard their characters type of thing would be more appropriate to the Kings of Winter agenda. It also just changes things up a bit compared to all the big guy decks. Since we do have a faction here that can go for an alternative strategy finally, I figured let's do it and see how it works out. I've had pretty good results with this deck so far, which is a little bit surprising. Even though Martell has fallen off in terms of popularity, maybe they're still good because people just aren't as ready for them. Another thing is that decks right now seem to favor temporary advantage over like long-term planning, I guess you could say, basically at all costs. It seems like every single deck has the plot you win or you die, and whenever people flip that and they're not literally able to win the game with it, with this deck I'm always pretty happy to see them discard their hand, and sometimes it doesn't really work out that well for them. Anyways, let's talk about the deck and the decisions, whatever decisions were made in making it. So we've got the winter plots, obviously the winter reserves. False Spring goes pretty naturally with the attrition strategy, and it's got good stats. Ranger's Cache. First Snow of Winter may seem questionable with a fairly low character cost curve here, but for anyone that was around when Martell Banner of the Wolf was a really popular deck, that deck also tended to run the first Snow of Winter, and it makes sense because it's very important that you do not lose to a large wide board of small characters, which is simply too wide for you to effectively control and stop them from winning their challenges, especially against something like Tyrell Crossing with like Green Apple Knights. You really need to be able to clear those, and you do have quite a few ways to still cheat some dudes in there and do 3 challenges. You can do the patented strategy of put out Ariane, she brings in Obara Sand, and then Obara Sand brings in like Marcella or something. Stuff like that. For the last winter plot, I decided on the long winter. I'm not sure if this is correct, but I figured maybe we can leverage the 2 claim. If I have a turn where I feel like I'm going to be able to get like a nice 2 claim military or something, I can go for this. The other options here don't seem great. I think originally I had Nothing Burns like the cold, but you really do not want to discard any of your attachments or non-limited stuff. So Nothing Burns is, sometimes you can like eat it with a Flea Bottom duplicate and then you have like another Flea Bottom in hand, but I don't know, I just wanted to give this a try. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't. One thing to note about the Kings of Winter that's kind of nice with Martell is lowering your own reserve kind of helps you out because it makes it more likely that you can discard Aereo Hota or whatever other good characters into the Flea Bottom pile for your reserve. That's nice since you don't have Breaking Ties anymore. The last 2 plots, of course, are March to the Wall and Valar Dohaeris, pretty necessary. The deck is pretty much what you would expect. I have 1 copy of this card, Secret Pact. I really have not seen anyone using this card, and I'm not sure why I haven't seen more of it. It's a non-terminal Craven, which seems pretty powerful. The disadvantage is that it cannot go on Martell characters, so it's bad in the mirror matchup, theoretically. But since Martell doesn't seem very popular, hopefully that won't matter. We've got Gaston Grey. This is good again because Greyjoy and big character decks in general, like if you run into Tyrell and they're trying to use Randall Tarley, this stops them dead in their tracks. We've got this new card, He Calls It Thinking. This is a 0-cost cancel, which can cancel any triggered effects besides agendas or plots. It cancels events, locations, characters, anythings, with the condition that the opponent can pay 1 gold to prevent it. This seems like it has the potential to be an extremely annoying card, as many Martell cards are, so I'm going to give it a try. I'm not sure if it's good or not, but we'll find out, I guess. It does sort of go with Kings of Winter. Hopefully you lower the opponent's gold by 1, and then they can't afford to pay to cancel this. I think it's pretty common that people save exactly enough gold to do whatever they're going to do, or just 0 gold for challenges phase. So I think you can probably find a good spot to play this. But if I don't end up liking this card, I'll probably change it over to Vengeance for Elia, which is often not great, but totally screws over the Free Folk, and I really don't like the Free Folk, so I like taking easy wins against that deck whenever I can. Character choices, we do have Sir Archibald Ironwood. This is a character that if I lose dominance, then the opponent has to choose and kill a character. Seems like it could be good. Yeah, nothing else interesting in the characters really, pretty much standard stuff. I opted for this version of Darkstar, the version that has stealth, over the Intimidate version, because if we're going first, he's still pretty good. Stealth past something and take off an icon. And if the opponent is just standing there and not declaring challenges because of Gaston Grey, something like that, maybe I have like Secret Pact on their Euron, then this guy can stealth past that big character to still win a challenge, which the Intimidate version might not be able to do. Okay, let's see if we can lame somebody out. I feel like I have a reasonable chance against a lot of the crossing and rush decks if they don't draw perfectly, or if I don't draw super badly. The bad matchups for this deck... Oh, here. This is a guy on the Discord. Let's see what happens here. Probably the matchup that I don't want to see is like... Well, this could be bad. Yeah, this is probably a bad matchup, actually. Like, if he gets Murine, we're probably just going to lose. At least we have a good setup hand. Let's see, how can we do the best setup here? 1, 4, I guess we do this. Gaston Grey is probably not super great, because he can just sit there and never declare any challenges. He's Targaryen burned, so he doesn't care. But we might as well play it. Hopefully this can actually cancel a Dracarys, this He Calls It Thinking. That'd be pretty funny. Sort of wonder what his opening plot's going to be. A lot of people seem to be using Summer Harvest, Time of Plenty. That's good. Let's go ahead and put out Ariane. We have a couple good characters to put in with her. If we reduce her by 2, then we have 2 gold left for, like, I guess a bastard daughter. Hopefully he doesn't marshal any dragons, and Ariane can actually do a challenge without getting hit with Dracarys. Myronese Market right from the start. That's annoying, so we can't use Flea Bottom. Another reason Targaryen's not a great matchup. Hizdar. Don't like that guy. What will he discard? I can cancel this with He Calls It Thinking, but I'm not going to. I want to save it to cancel a burn event if there's any possible way that I can pull that off. There's the dragon. So he can do the tourney grounds and try to play Dracarys, but it's going to get canceled by He Calls It Thinking. Unless he also has Hand's Judgment, in which case I guess he got me. Let's start with Intrigue. We have exactly enough to win it, and Intrigue is like the most important against Targaryen burn because you want to get their burn events out of their hand. I would expect him to play Dracarys because he nailed this tourney grounds. But maybe he knows that I have He Calls It Thinking because of the lag when he nailed the tourney grounds. it probably said waiting for opponent for a second, so he probably knows that that I was being given the action window to use this. Not going to cancel that either. That actually makes me pretty happy that he went ahead and did that, because it's making his hand really small, and now he's like got a pretty good Valar Dohaeris board. Might use Valar Dohaeris next turn, but probably just False Spring, try to put it off for a turn so we can get the biggest possible Dohaeris turn. So he's going to defend with 6. I'm not sure why he... Well, that's really good. Always want to get rid of her. We can't win a military here, but if we do a military with both characters, it makes him kneel 2 guys if he wants to defend it. So let's just do it. Yeah, no defenders. Probably kill this Cheeky. Yep. This is also a nice situation because if he wants to intrigue me, he has to use Kotho, which is pretty good to send back with Gaston Grey. Gonna do the military. Let me kill a bastard daughter. Well, maybe he's not gonna do it. He's thinking about it. Yeah, canceled it. Maybe he'll just pass. Here comes the intrigue. Definitely gonna use Gaston Grey here. Don't get our he calls it thinking, please. Basically any card other than that would be fine. Archibald Ironwood. I guess that's okay. I haven't even used Ariane yet. I should probably go ahead and use her. I don't know. We'll see what he does. If he passes and I get an... Ah, damn, I didn't get an action window. If I had been smart and used her earlier, then I could have lost dominance and made him discard. That would have been really good. Actually, I think we would have tied dominance. 5 on his side, 5 on mine, so probably didn't matter. Let's discard this House Dane Escort. Maybe he forgets to use the Myronese market on it. False Spring because... I don't know. I would expect him to maybe play like Counting Coppers or Exchange of Information, so maybe we won't get to pick one of these 3. Oh, first snow. That's fun. I don't think I mind that too much. I have a Dornish Spy. I have Ariane. Made himself first. Interesting. Oh, well. Definitely Drogon. I hate that card. So no Dracarys after all, but he kneeled the tourney grounds. I guess he was trying to fake me out. Threatened the Dracarys, so to speak. But based on what was in his hand that we saw, it was Khal Drogo and Kotho. So he's probably going to have to put in Kotho again here. Which, again, that actually makes me fairly happy because he's discarding 2 more cards. I guess he can use his Dar to marshal something. There's the Hisdar. Still not going to cancel it. Okay. How are we going to deal with this? If we want to avoid getting double militaried, we can use the Dornish Spy to take the military off Khal Drogo. Okay, 7, 8, basically 9 gold to work with. That's perfect. So we can marshal Ariane. And now we have 4 gold for a Dornish Spy ambush. Which we're going to go ahead and take Khal Drogo's military. Seems like the right call. And now that I'm 3 over reserve, I can discard like 3 flea bottom targets, and he actually won't be able to shuffle them all back in fast enough with this thing. That's nice. We're going to defend this and let this Dornish Spy die. That way we can kill one of his dudes with our military challenge, and that's pretty good. Actually, if he tries to use Kotho here, I might cancel it, because I think the way that that would work is that he would still discard the 2 and Kotho would stay in his hand. And that's just pretty powerful. We're not going to defend this. We're 3 over reserve. Don't get my cancel. I guess I don't want him to get Aereo Hota either, but that's not as big a deal. Desert Scavenger. Obviously, that's fine. Now the question, does he declare the power? I think he probably should, just so that he won't win dominance with this Nymeria Sand. Well, I don't agree with that, because now he's going to discard for Nymeria and for Intrigue Claim. So, do the Intrigue here. We're going to do a military with Nymeria. There's the Kotho. Let's cancel that. And now Kotho will get discarded by Intrigue. So he calls it Thinking. Quite a powerful card in this situation. That just did a lot of work right there. 0 cards on turn 2. Get wrecked, Targaryen. Makes my Nymeria discard less relevant, I guess. Maybe he was thinking 2 steps ahead of me and didn't care about the Nymeria, kept Khal Drogo standing anyways because he knew he was going to clear his hand with Kotho. Let's just put in Obella. We still lose dominance. We still get to draw the card. I'm not going to declare a power challenge to give Khal Drogo renown. Another flea bottom card, that's good. I'm not going to discard the Aereo Hota because that's like the most powerful flea bottom card. It would give him an easy target for the Myronese market. This way, I mean, he can shuffle the Spy back, but we still have like 3 characters that can come out with flea bottom. There, he's using it. Interesting. I guess because he hasn't seen flea bottom back, he's shuffling back these guys, the House Dane escorts, who can be marshaled out of the discard pile if you have 3 and you're used. This is obviously March to the Wall. Do we make him first? I think I want to go first, actually. Why not? Who does he discard? I honestly don't know which of these 2 he should pick. It's funny, he kind of ended up screwing himself with his first Snow of Winter there, set up that marched. Let's give him Viserys. I don't think we care about Viserys. Shadow Black Lane. I don't like Shadow Black Lane. You can have an Illyrio's estate. And a dragon is no slave, which hopefully he doesn't get Daenerys, since that card is pretty useless without Daenerys, but extremely scary if they have her. Of course, we draw Venomous Blade right after we gave him Viserys. Oh well. Let's get Flea Bottom, Arianne, and 1 gold left for Flea Bottom. I'm going to hold the extra copy of Flea Bottom in my hand. I don't know that it's going to end up mattering, but sometimes he has nothing burns, and then I still have another copy to marshal, something like that. Damn, another Myronese market. Let's go ahead and bring out the Dornish Spy before he can shuffle it back. Take off that Intrigue. We don't care too much about power. We're going to try to kneel our whole board here. He has 2 gold, so hopefully he can win dominance, and we can make him discard more with Nymeria. Guess let's start off with the power. Defends it. Makes sense, I suppose. Not a whole lot else he can do with his turn. He's still going to lose dominance. I probably should have done the military first so that he would kill Viserys, and then I could win the power 4-4. But then he could just swing back for his power with his star, so I don't think it makes that big a difference. Oh, what was that? Oh, that was intrigue. I don't know. For some reason, I thought I declared military there. Here's the military. Got the dragon as no slave. That's nice, I guess, but his whole hand is going away anyways with Nymeria. I don't think we even need to use Ariane here. I guess I'm a little scared that he'll play Valar Morghulis and kill Ariane, but if he wants to play Valar Morghulis here, I think I'm fine with that. I'll just end my turn. Dorne, it's a good pickup. Shame we don't have 2 March to the Wall like this deck would normally have. Although I don't really want to march either of my guys. Clearing out my discard. I think I'm out of small characters. He can still get this Desert Scavenger if he wants. Let's discard the extra Flea Bottom and I guess a Bastard Daughter. The other 3 are obvious keeps. Let's go for Ranger's Cache, maybe? Maybe the first Snow of Winter. Just to make... Yeah, let's go for this, just to keep his board as small as possible. Again, I think I actually want to go first here, because I don't have any Dornish fiefdoms. Let's go first. The military claim has proven to be relevant pretty much every turn this game, I think, so I like the idea of going first and maybe making him kill a guy. Also, going first with Ariane's pretty nice, because you can just declare a challenge with her straight up, and then she's kneeling already, and you can trigger her whenever you want, and you still get max value out of her. So, I think let's get a Bastard Daughter for Claim Soak. I guess Dorne, why not? Maybe he forgets to shuffle this Desert Scavenger. Oh, we also have a Bastard Daughter here, so we have a Flea Bottom target no matter what. Not super high impact characters, but it is something to spend the 1 gold on. So he used Exchange of Information and Counting Coppers, and he's still... These are his 5 Counting Coppers cards. Hopefully he doesn't have any more draw plots, and he's... Wow, that was dumb of me. I totally forgot I played First Snow. Well, he didn't shuffle the other Bastard Daughter in, so let's just bring her out. Point being, hopefully he runs out of cards soon, and... I mean, he doesn't have any characters out here. 2 gold's not enough to, like, ambush Quaithe of the Shadow. Maybe he drew another copy of Katho, who knows. I'm going to declare the military with 5 in case it is Katho. If he has to kill this his star, I think I'm in a pretty good spot to win the game. That's really bad for him. Also, we can still do a power with Ariane and then bring in the Bastard of God's Grace to do the intrigue. He's on 2 gold, so he'll lose dominance to Nymeria again. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, it has to kill the his star. That should be game. But who knows? It is Targaryen. I'm not going to count my chickens just yet. And people said this is a bad matchup for Martell. Well, to be fair, he never got his 5-cost Daenerys online, and that's like by far the scariest card. That card could just win the game by itself by like nuking all my guys with a dragon is no slave. So it's really lucky for me that he didn't get that going. But that aside, I think the Targaryen burn matchup is a little bit exaggerated for Martell because it's like, yeah, they can burn most of your guys. You don't really have anything above like 4 strength. But on the other hand, your characters are all pretty expendable. Even if Ariane gets Dracarys, like, a lot of times that's just not that big of a deal compared to... Wow, we got the Dracarys with the Nymeria. Compared to, let's say I'm Greyjoy and you nuke my Euron, that's horrible. Like, I don't have anything else going for me at that point. But with this Martell deck, even if I lose Ariane, I've still got a lot of really obnoxious stuff to try and control the game. So I don't think it's as bad as some people make it out to be. Let's go for the long winter here. We seem to be in a pretty good position to attack and get some big 2-claim going. And I think we're going to be on 5 reserve with all the different reserve effects going on. Yeah, 5 reserves, so that's still pretty good. I guess let's go first again. We have 2-claim. I'm going to take it off my house card because the Bastard of God's Grace can actually discard this power to ambush like Venomous Blade or something. Close call on Viserys. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, his close call draw got disabled by our winter plot. Get wrecked by winter cards. Ariane again because we have Aereo Hota. Let's see. I guess a Bastard Daughter. Now we have 1 gold, which he has finally shuffled away all our Flea Bottom cards, but we can discard this 1 power to bring in a Venomous Blade. So he does have Daenerys out now. Really glad I discarded that Dragon is No Slave earlier. That's still in his discard. I do have to be scared that one of these is Dracarys, so let's see what we can do here. Let's declare military first with this Bastard Daughter. And then if he defends it, I'm just going to ambush the Venomous Blade anyways. I guess I could be a troll here and ambush the Venomous Blade onto the Bastard Daughter, but I'm going to put it on Ariane to guarantee that we can get it back. This also bumps her up. I guess she's outside the range of Consuming Flames now, 5 strength, but she'll still die to Dracarys. At this point, like I just got done explaining, I don't think it actually matters that much, even if she dies to Dracarys, like, who cares? I can just straight up save 5 to ambush Aereo Hota instead. It's a little bit less efficient, but it's not a big deal. He does have 1 gold, so let's try to win dominance, or have him win dominance rather. It's a win for us because we get to activate Nymeria. See if he plays Dracarys here. He only has 2 cards. It's not super likely that he has Dracarys. I'm going to declare Intrigue with both of these, just because if he doesn't have a way to spin the gold, it guarantees that we lose dominance. Plus, whatever he does with this Daenerys, looks like it is an event, probably Consuming Flames. That'd be my guess. There it is. He's going to kill the Nymeria. Interesting. He's totally out of cards, so I think actually the Bastard is more relevant at this point, but whatever. Yeah, especially because I'm getting close to winning. That puts me on 13 power. End our challenges. So I guess he's going to declare power and no Intrigue. I'm not even going to use Ariane and Aereo for that because we're 1 over reserve, so he can have that one. Plus Dorne. Can't really run out of cards when you have Dorne. Oh, I guess I should have not let that happen. I forgot he had Shadow Black. Just gave him a Consuming Flames. Let's discard the Water Gardens. I think that's the least useful card out of these. Maybe Valar Dohaeris? Nah. I might want to use Valar Dohaeris here just so it doesn't get pinned as my 7th plot in case I need it going forward, but I don't think it's very likely that he's going to be able to get a big board again. Of course, I say that as he flips trade routes, and now he's going to like top deck Khal Drogo and Daario Naharis or something. But we can still reuse March to the Wall, and I guess if he does manage to get big characters, this is actually our next plot. Let's bring out definitely Gaston Grey. I guess Shadow City Bastard, why not? 3 gold's kind of an awkward number to sit on. It does let us discard 1 off the Bastard of God's Grace to ambush Areo Hotah. Then Arianne can bring in Doria Sand. And since we have another Sand Snake, it can actually bounce like a 2-cost character that might be relevant. You know you're doing well as Martell when you have this card, Areo Hotah, sitting in your hand for the entire like first plot cycle, and you never even have to use them. Even though I've also had Arianne the whole time. Wow, Daario Naharis. 2 big guys, just like I said. Well, good thing we didn't flip Valar Dohaeris this turn. We know that the last card in his hand is Consuming Flames. He can't play it because he doesn't have another card to discard. The objective here is probably to prevent him from winning an Intrigue. It's actually kind of... There would be some merit in just passing our challenges and not doing anything. But we do have the sneaky discard a power ambush with Areo Hotah play. And what we're actually going to go for is an unopposed power challenge with the Shadow City Bastard. Because he has to try to defend this with Daenerys, I think. And then we can kick him out with this. I guess we'll be on 14 because we discard a power off the Bastard of God's Grace. So, let's not use it there, but still, making him defend, I guess we might as well do it. Yep, 1 off of winning with Areo Hotah there. Too bad. Get a Dornish fiefdom, I guess. I don't know. I guess another Gaston Grey is probably more relevant than a Dornish fiefdom this late in the game. Oh, damn, I gave him that back? That's terrible. That was a misplay. Oh well. See if he uses it right away. He did kneel his tourney grounds. Doesn't decide to use it yet. If I do military or any challenge with the Bastard of God's Grace, he's probably going to get killed by that Consuming Flames. But he's out of range of a Dragon is no Slave. Arianne is out of range of both. So let's use Arianne for the Intrigue. And we'll probably use Areo Hotah here. I would expect him to try to defend with Daario. That way we can discard one of those problem events. Yeah, there's the defense. Get him out. Maybe he's deciding, yeah, he's going to use Huh. What is the idea here? Probably kill this? Oh, that makes sense, I guess. So he just wanted to get some use out of those events, the consuming flames, I guess, before it gets discarded anyways by the intrigue claim. And he picked the bastard daughter so that it would die at a time when he has 0 cards in hand. I don't want to let this Rhaegal win a challenge and get him the Dragon is no slave back, so let's just remove the icons. I think we still have military available as well. Yeah, he's going to get that out with Myronese, of course. Yeah, unopposed military should win the game with Renown on the Bastard of God's Grace. So, I think he still would have had a chance to come back into this game if it could have gone on long enough, because he has the Daenerys and the Dragon is no slave. And those cards are just extremely overpowered together, but I was too far ahead, so it was too little too late. And this is a game that showed how, like, a Martell deck can still win against Targ Burn, I guess. Even though he had all those draw plots, he just ran out of cards. I got to show the strategy of the deck pretty well. Pretty happy with it. What a nice guy. I wonder, I guess we're going to tell him after this that we recorded it. So yeah, that's our game of the day.